Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, and unless you've been living on another planet the last few days, you probably would have heard that some of the cables, the internet cables that connect Australia to the rest of the world, have been broken, and unfortunately for Board of Tanks players such as myself, that's going to mean a little bit more lag, a little bit more latency, and often a little bit harder to play. But in this video, there's going to be no gameplay in this video, and I apologise for that, but this is just a few solutions that I've found have worked for me. Maybe they're going to work for you to try and increase the enjoyment of the game and hopefully address some of the issues which come up whenever a cable's broken. Of course, this isn't the first time the cable's been broken. The cable was broken at the start of the year, I believe, between Perth and Singapore, and mainly that affected Australian and New Zealand players. But over the past few days, there's actually been 4 breaks in the cable, and if you have a look at this map, okay, this is an internet cable map which links Australia and New Zealand to the rest of the world, mainly to Southeast Asia. Now, usually the most Aussies and Kiwis run through this cable here, the SEMEWE3 cable, I think it's called, and it runs from Perth past Jakarta all the way to Singapore, which is where Wargaming is. Now, I'm in sunny Melbourne, and you can see me there on the map. Now, usually I would connect via Adelaide and Perth through Jakarta to Singapore, but of course this cable here has been broken. Generally it gets broken around about Jakarta somewhere. There's some shallow water, I believe, and the Indonesian fishing boats are often the culprit. But in this case, there's been some severe weather in this part of the world, not far from Singapore. I know the cable which links Hong Kong to Singapore has been broken in 2 places, and there's another cable which has been broken somewhere else. So there's been four breaks, one on the main one that links Australia to Wargaming, and 3 others. And of course, when other cables breaks, that increases the congestion on all the other cables. Now, I've done a little bit of ping testing, ping plotting, and testing the connection, and playing around with a few other applications to see what my connection's like, and I think I've found a solution which is better than nothing. It's not going to bring your ping and your lag and your latency back to how it was before the break, before last week, but with the cable being down, conservatively people are saying mid-October, and we all know sometimes, because there's now 4 breaks and not just one, the priority might not be on this one cable which links Australia to Singapore. The priority might be in the Hong Kong Vietnamese cables up here in the South China Sea. If you look onto this other picture here that I've just put up on the map, when I did a ping test, basically what was happening, my ISP was decided, alright, let's try and connect to Wargaming. And you can do this with Ping Plotter. You put in login.worldoftanksasia, I think it is. If you do a Google, it'll tell you how to do it. And my connection was still trying to go through Perth. Obviously, it got to Perth and thought, hang on, this road's blocked. So it came back to Sydney, up through Guam, through Hong Kong, and down to Singapore that way. Now, obviously, that's not the ideal route that I would normally take. And of course, cutting out this section from Melbourne to Perth and then back to Sydney would greatly affect it, and that's what the Fast does. I've downloaded what the Fast, WTFAST.com. That is an application I used at the start of the year. Last time the cable broke, and it worked for me a hell of a lot. Basically, what that did, what the Fast does is it's helpful if your ISP is trying to direct you in a non-efficient way, if you like. If you're already connecting the best way possible, then what the Fast is not going to do anything for you. But if you're in a situation like me, where I'm trying to go via Perth back to Adelaide, back to Sydney, then all up Guam, Hong Kong to Singapore, then what the Fast does is, bearing in mind that this cable here on the left is out, puts me directly to Singapore and then up. Right? Obviously, it's not the ideal route which we used to use, but it helped my ping a great deal, and I'll go into that in just a moment. That's the ideal route there. The green line is the ideal route, Melbourne to Perth. Obviously, it's not straight like that, is it? It's a bit of a wobbly line, but it's the best I can do on Microsoft Paint. But so this is the way what the Fast is doing, and I'll put a link in that. Now, if you've never used it before, you get a free 2-week trial. I think some countries get 3 or 4 weeks trial, but I think if you're in Australia, it's a 2-week trial, which I used at the start of the year. But even after that, it's only about $6 if memory serves me correctly. Now, I've just connected to World of Tanks, and I'm not sure if you can see it there, but World of Tanks is showing 297 ping, which is terrible. It's unplayable. We all know that. However, installing, and that's the kind of ping I was getting from Ping Plotter as well, around about 300, 280 to 310. And I didn't even try playing on that kind of ping, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't playing the game when the shit hit the fan the other night, when the cable just went down, but I was on TeamSpeak on 1AR, and the cries of woe from the other players who were just experiencing massive lag spikes was enough to convince me to do something a little bit more productive. So rather than putting up with the ping and the latency with a broken cable, that's one option. What the fast. Now that's what I've put on. Now when I've been playing it, and obviously I'm not running it right now because I'm showing you the ping that I'm getting in game, which is 297. But if I log on, I'll also show you a few more ideas which you might want to do, which might help your connection. Now of course, the running What the Fast last night, Thursday night, I was playing it, and my ping was dropping back down to below 200, about 180 to 200. Now of course, another idea that you can do is go into your garage, go into your settings, have a look at your graphics settings, and I've got a custom setting because I've followed a really good guide by Bolognese, who put up about how to set up your game so that you might play a little bit better. And let's be honest, I need all the help I can get with my gameplay. But if you take this graphics quality, take it down to low or even minimum, of course it's not gonna be as pretty gameplay as you might be used to. But of course, we play World of Tanks for enjoyment. It's a game. It's something you should be getting fun out of, and there's nothing more frustrating than getting copious amounts of lag throughout the game. So if you're going to be playing with terrible lag and terrible ping, you're probably better off not playing, because you're not going to be enjoying yourself. But that's one idea which I've found pretty useful, dropping the graphic settings, and as well as running the What the Fast has got my ping down from, which you just saw, 297 it was showing in game last night when I was running it, and it only costs $6 a month. So if $6 a month is something that doesn't mean much to you, then it dropped mine down to about 180, and the game was very, very playable. I must say though, I didn't play any light tanks. I thought that light tanks are probably the hardest thing to play when your connection is terrible, but it's just an idea. Hopefully it works for you. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be putting links to What the Fast, and also to an announcement that Tanitha put up on the forums overnight when I was in bed. And let's see if I can find it here. Here it is. Basically, every time, and if you follow World of Tanks on social media or some other fan pages for World of Tanks, you'll be seeing a lot of people are saying, I've bought premium time, or I've activated personal reserves, and Tanitha's put out two announcements, one for the whole player base and one for just Australia and New Zealand players. And basically what he's put down briefly about what's happened in the with the cable. And for all World of Tanks players, everybody's going to get 3 days of premium. And also, everybody's going to get some boosters. 5 50% experience boosters, which are 1 hour. 5 200% crew experience boosters, and 5 200% free experience boosters, which isn't too bad at all. And of course, it's similar to at the start of the year when the cable went out. It was the start of the year, it might have been over Christmas time, the cable went out, and he did something similar, which I think was quite generous. And he's also put down here, in addition, for Australian and New Zealand players, which are the most affected countries, he's put in a little mini mission from the 1st of September till the 13th of October, because at the moment the 13th of October is the tentative date for when they think the window might be, the cable might be fixed. So every day, if you play 3 battles and you win them in your top 10, you'll also get an extra day of premium. And he's also saying that that mission will start tomorrow night, which is Friday night, tonight, but it won't work until the unlocking token for the Australian and New Zealand players have been added, which might take a day or so. But so be patient, and if you're somebody who's not running a premium account and you want to give a premium account a go, then maybe this might be for you if you're in Australia or New Zealand, and they will also be recouping any premium which is currently on your account, depending on however much premium time you've got on your account, which is lost because of the cable. Then that will be restored as well, which I think is a very generous gesture from Wargaming. So if you're like me and you've got an embarrassing amount of premium time up your sleeve, whatever you lose through the cable will be restored at the end once it's been fixed. So if you've only got 1 day, whenever, a few days or a week after the cable's fixed, you'll get that day back. If you've got 7, you get 7 days back. If you've got shitloads, then whatever premium time you lost because of the cable being down will be recredited to the account after the cable's fixed. Hopefully it's a little bit earlier than the 13th of October, but who knows. I think that's about all I was going to do in this video. So just recapping, the cable's down. Not in the past, we've had the cable down in just the one place. In the past, it's just been where this cross is. That's where it's been coming down. But now it's down in 4 places, and although the other 3 places generally wouldn't affect Aussies and Kiwis, it's causing more congestion in this rabbit warren of undersea cables in the South China Sea and in the Asian region. So that's why maybe it's a little bit worse than it was last time, and that's why maybe more people are affected. But I've installed What the Fast again. It costs about $6 a month. I'm not sure if that's American dollars or Australian dollars, to be honest with you, but that's dropped my ping back down to below 180, and it's also giving a more optimal routing on this red line rather than going this other red line. So hopefully that helps some of you players get a little bit more enjoyment out of water tanks while the cable's down. It's working for me, but like I said, I haven't been playing any fast light tanks. I've been going for more the heavies, the TDs and the mediums as I grind my way up towards the Object 430. But it really hasn't been noticeable, even though I've kept my settings on high. If it gets noticeable a bit more, I'll drop my graphic settings a little bit more, but for me it's playable. Then again, I'm just a scrub. Anyway, hopefully this video's helping. Hope this video might help and maybe give a few people a heads up as to what's happening, not only with the repairs for the cable, which might take 6 weeks, or it might take longer, it might take less. I don't think anybody knows right now because it's only been down for a couple of days. And if you read the forums or the social media pages, obviously a lot of people are being affected. So maybe What the Fast might be the go for you. If you've never used it before, your first 2 weeks are free, so you've got nothing to lose. And I will be putting a link to What the Fast website in the video description, as well as that announcement from Tanitha. Once again, on the announcement from Tanitha, everybody on the Asia server is getting 3 days premium plus the 15 boosters. And for Aussies and Kiwis, there's that mission. So if you're still going to be chipping away, if you win 3 battles in the top 10, you'll get a day premium, as well as any premium that you're going to lose out during the course of the outage, if you like. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this has helped some of you with a few ideas about how you might be able to fix up your ping, your latency, your lag, whatever you want to call it. And we'll be back tomorrow with some more gameplay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you all next time.